Okie dokie, now we have all the menus imposed, so now we need to run them. So each machine has a different set of preset papers, and everything is based on temperatures and how thick the paper is and how fast it needs to run through and how close the fuser needs to come to the paper called the nip. So I have all these presets that I can use, plus I can actually type in my own, but for all the papers that I stock, I know which presets I need to use for which one. So I'm going to start with one of these tall menu inserts, just because I've already got the machine calibrated and the right paper size loaded for that. So I can come over here to the different presets, and I know that the menu inserts run on 80-pound smooth cover, and I always run it just 5% lighter, just because that helps kind of brighten some of the close areas. Plus I know they're sliding this behind a sheet of plastic, so if we can lighten it up a little bit, it won't seem so dark in the restaurant. Everything else is set. Everything else was controlled by the imposer, so we're ready to print. So if I click print, it's going to send it to this other machine. Now over here on the other machine, I've already got it set for the right size paper, the right thickness of paper, the right weight of paper, and that's all controlled right here. This is the tray that I'm printing out of. And so here are all the settings that I can set for the different types and thicknesses of paper. This controls how well the paper fuses and things like that. This is the actual thickness of the paper, and then I can go in under here and change the size of the paper. So that you try to organize your jobs so that you're not having to change these settings too much, because when we come in to running it, the engine has to perform, like, see right now it says self-checking. Every time you change any of those settings, it has to come back and perform a self-check and get it all ready to run. So now it's going to do the self-check, which could take, depending on how it, depending if it has to cool the fuser down, it could take up to 5 minutes before it prints the first page. Normally I try to go in order so that it's going from coolest to hottest, so that I'm not having to wait a long time on the fuser to change temperatures. But that's also the reason that I try to run all the same jobs on the same type of paper at the same time.